I was really bummed because she lives in Texas, but I saw her post. They were giving away like 3-inch paddings. They had like 60 of them.
Oh, geez.
And they were like 4 by 5 feet. She's like, these are free if anybody wants them. And I went to message her, and I was like, I better check where she's at. And she was in Texas. And I'm like, I'm not going to.
Wonder like how much you could have paid to like ship them though. Like be like, I'll pay for shipping if you can just get them.
So they were white for one, which I didn't want white. I want black. So like those pads I got from Walmart.
Okay.
And they were blue, I think.
Gotcha.
So I'd use paint and just spray them down and stuff. But those are more so for like anesthetics. But those are legit sound pads. So initially I'd like to get it covered at least to the white. Or to the lights.
Yeah.
And then, kind of. Yeah, it does help a little bit. Just helps like the echoey background noise, things of that nature. So
right.
Yeah, man. So we have the Zach Gilkerson on the show today. Super stoked.
Hello, everybody.
Yep, your camera, obviously, you can see in the wide and
I see
all that good stuff. So yeah, man, introduce yourself. Let people know what you do, who you are.
So I'm Zach Gilkerson. I'm 33 years old. I just turned 33 in June. I am married to a beautiful woman that I love very much. It'll be 10 years in October. And then I have 3 kids, and they're all feral. So that's what we do. We chase kids all day. So
who's Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Your little girl's name?
Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Yes.
She is a riot, dude.
Dude, she's hilarious. They're all hilarious. Like, if you watch Knox talks to himself all day. All day, every day. Like, he just... Like, dude, what are you talking about? He's just like, oh, no.
I'm just talking.
I'm just talking.
That's so funny. Yeah, so. Scarlett always cracks me up because she's got some sass in her.
That's Haley. Like, that's...
Yeah, that's so funny. She's a trip. Oh, yeah, all your kids are a trip. That's cool. So, Zach, what do you like to do?
So I'm a really big outdoorsy guy. I love being outdoors, hunting, fishing. Last year, me and my wife bought a boat. So, like, our big thing now is just going out on the boat, hanging out.
How many times have you taken out this year?
Well, we took it out yesterday, and it was a severe thunderstorm that we didn't know was coming. So we were like out,
rolling storm.
Yeah,
came and went.
Yeah, well, I mean, so we're like out on the lake with my brother-in-law because he has a boat too.
Okay.
And literally, like the storm's like rolling in, and I'm like, we don't have time to dock it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, here we are. Like Sam, I'm not kidding, man. Like it's like waves of rain coming down. I'm like, oh, we're like Noah, and then like the water's like filling up like in our boat, and it's a 17-foot Stingray, so like It's not like a small little boat.
Yeah.
But like I got the bilge pumps pumping. I'm like, man, like I don't know what we should do here. And then like there was lightning that hit like 20 feet from us. Like no joke, it was like
that's wild.
So the kids are crying, and yeah, I was like,
we're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun, guys. This is what we came out here for. So, but yeah, no, we just love being outside. I mean, that's part of the reason our kids are feral is just because we live out in the country. We can let them run, and we do let them run. So I think the kids should get dirty and all the stuff.
Yeah, experience mud in the fingernails and creaking.
Our kids hardly ever get sick, man, because they're covered in germs all the time. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you left your wife at the zoo.
I did.
To come here.
I left my wife at the zoo with all 3 kids, and I said, "Hey, I got to go do Sam's podcast." Because bears don't fly at the zoo, I found out. So now here I am. Yep, yeah. You know,
a little bit Debbie Downer, like man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So where did you and Haley meet? How long? Like, tell me that story.
So our love story is one of legend. I had a crush on Haley since I was 8 because we used to go to the same church together. She had no interest in me. Like I was talking to her cousin. I'm like, yeah, man, just put in a good word. And, you know, because at 8 years old, you think that everybody's the love of your life.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
He did not put in a good word for me. So, you know, life happens. We ended up changing churches. And I was working at Cracker Barrel, and she got a job at Cracker Barrel. And, like, once again, like, we live in the same county. So, like, I would see her every once in a while. Her mom was a substitute teacher at my school every once in a while. So, like... we still knew of each other, and then she started working at Cracker Barrel, and I'm like, this girl has not wanted anything to do with me. Like, this is kind of my domain. So I kind of snubbed her for like 2 weeks. I wouldn't say anything to her. And then finally I was just like, I'm just going to ask this girl out. Like, I'm just going to ask her out, get shot down. That way, like, there's no wondering.
There's a final.
I'm looking for a no, so I can just move on. So I asked her in the little vestibule area where you put the orders in, and apparently there's 20 people around is what she said. So she said yes out of peer pressure is what she said. And so, like, I'm like, oh, I didn't plan past no. So I'm like, oh, here's my number. And, like, that was kind of how we started dating. Okay. So our first date, we went to BJ's Brew House in Polaris.
Okay.
Ended up going to Cabela's because it was raining. We went fishing. The steam was rising up off the pond, and the sun was setting down below, and it was beautiful. I like, seriously, man. Yeah. Like, our first date was like one of the best dates.
One for the books.
It was, yeah. So I ended up dropping her back off, and like I just sat on the hood of my car in some field, and there was like heat lightning going on and shooting stars like coming. It was crazy. So I ended up texting her. I'm like, "Do you want to come see this?" So I picked her back up, and that was kind of like our second date was in the same night. So. And then I asked her to marry me 4 months later.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was just, I just knew.
It's very fast.
I knew she was the one.
That's fun. That's cool. What was the start of your marriage like?
Oh,
you guys didn't have kids right away?
No, we actually couldn't.
Okay.
So without like making a long story really long, we got married. First 2 years were literally hell on earth. Like I'm not. I can't tell you how many broken dishes we had. The divorce word got thrown around a lot. Like, people were like, "Oh, you guys are such a good couple." I'm like, "You should have seen us the first 2 years." Like,
yeah.
So what it came down to is we found out that Haley has a thyroid issue, which affects like your emotions and just like she's just chemically imbalanced.
Oh, okay.
I had low testosterone, so I like my estrogen was really high, so like I was really chemically imbalanced. So like you just had two chemically imbalanced people that are newlyweds trying to figure out how to live with each other.
Yeah. I can imagine that would be
dude, I mean,
stressful just a little bit.
I can't tell you how many times like we just my mom and dad never fought that I saw growing up.
Okay.
So our first fight, I'm like, oh shoot, like I married the wrong girl. Like we're fighting. Like this doesn't happen in a marriage. Like I seriously thought that. And then her mom and dad fought all the time. Like that was just like a normal thing. So like she kind of knew how to fight and I didn't. So I'm like, oh, you're beating me in like every one of these arguments, you know? But yeah, so we didn't have kids right away because I was taking testosterone shots.
Okay.
And when you take shots, your pituitary gland thinks, oh, I'm making enough sperm.
Right.
And then it shuts down.
Okay.
So we were actually told in a doctor's office after a year and a half of trying, you're never going to be able to have kids. Like you really need to start looking into adoption. And that, I mean, like Haley's dream and her whole life is to be a mom.
Okay.
So like we got in the car and I was like, you're going to have to leave me. You know, like I know that you want to be a mom and if I can't give you kids, then like you don't need to waste your life with me.
Yeah.
And so, like, we kind of worked through that.
That's a pretty intense conversation.
It was like like you know, it wasn't
it's real life.
It is like when I say that like Haley's dream was to be a mom, like that was her whole world. And if I couldn't give that to her, I'm like, you know, I love you so much, but like I don't want to be the hindrance in your life because like that's your whole life's goal. So she's like, like we'll start looking into adoption. So that was 3 weeks later. We went that Wednesday. We started like looking at paperwork, trying to figure out what paperwork we need to find out to adopt. And then that Friday, Haley took a pregnancy test because she was like a month late, and it was positive. But we'd had 4 false positives before that. Okay. So like when she said it says I'm positive, we both were like not looking into that too much. So that was Friday. So Monday she goes into work and she's a phlebotomist, so she works in a lab. So she had her blood drawn, and she called me at 11:12 in the morning. I was working for Spectrum Cable at the time, installing cable, and she called me and she's crying. And I knew that she was going to get her blood drawn. So, I immediately was just like, it's okay. I don't know why God's doing this to us. But like we're going to work through it. And all she says is she's like, you're going to be a dad. For 20 minutes at a stop sign behind the Kroger off of Hauk, I just bawled my eyes out.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're like, please don't lie to me. And she's like, we're going to be parents.
Yeah.
And it was a huge thing, man. So more information than people probably want to know. When you have sperm, like healthy sperm, you're supposed to have like 20 million. It's somewhere between 5 million and 20 million.
Okay.
And I had just had my sperm tested to find out, like where I'm at, what we can do. And I had 1,000.
Wow.
So we got pregnant off of 1,000 sperm when you're supposed to have 20 million.
Wow.
So, I mean, like, it's just our miracle story.
Yeah, for sure.
So our oldest boy is literally a walking, breathing miracle. So then we were like, well, we want to have more. So it took us a year and a half. We might as well get started. Boom, we got pregnant with Scarlett like a month later. I was like, oh, shoot. Like, this isn't good.
The door has been opened.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Lord, like, let's just slow down here. And then Knox, I wasn't sure if I wanted a third. She wanted a third. So I was like, all right, Lord, 30 days. Like, we both prayed, and we felt like the Lord's like, give it 30 days of trying. And so we gave it 30 days, and day 27, she's like, guess what? And I'm like, man, dude, we had 3 days. Like, trust me, I would not trade my youngest son for anything. But I was like, we had 3 days, man. You came down to the wire.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, our marriage has not been anywhere close to perfect. But I do feel like right now, especially since we started coming to Northgate, like me and Haley both have grown so much just in our identity. We didn't even know what an identity was.
Yeah.
But to know who you are and whose you are, and when you walk in that, and then we can raise our kids in that. Like we were talking the other day. I'm like, I don't think that we fought in like 6 months.
Okay.
Like, I mean, obviously, like we'll get frustrated. There'll be some words raised, but like we have not had like an argument in 6 months.
Yeah.
Which is just that first year we couldn't go 5 hours without yelling at each other, or, something just going off the rails. So
yeah. Do you think, which I want to eventually we'll get to, when you guys first started coming to Northgate, because it's one of the things I was talking to Zach Wilcox about today.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he was like, "Are you bringing anybody?" I was like, "Actually, I'm bringing Zach Gilkerson on," and he's like, "Oh, no way, he'd be a fun one." And we were talking about you and your kids and stuff, and I mentioned, I was like, Zach, I was like, did you know Haley? Like, did you guys know them before you started coming to Northgate?
No.
No. So when you and Haley first started coming to Northgate, I was afraid of Haley.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Haley is a tiny person. Like, I'm a giant compared to her. And when she started, I would see her and I'd just look the other way. Don't make eye contact, Sam. Don't say hello, because it might come back with a fire breather,
Right,
like,
yeah.
just ready to rip you a new one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so I love my wife. And like we've talked about this. So when I say this, everybody should know that this is out of love. My wife is 5 foot. She weighs 110 pounds, and she's the scariest person on the face of the earth to me. Like, when the kids are like, "Mom's being mean," I'm like, "You need to figure it out."
Yeah.
Like, she scares
That's
me,
your
bro.
problem,
Like, yeah,
not
that's
mine.
dude, that's not on me right now.
3-year-old, figure it out.
Absolutely. Like and she has an RBF face. Like, that's just it's who she is. So we both know it.
But now, so to finish that story and not
Yes.
end it there, now she is the sweetest. She is the kindest.
Yeah.
Like, huge nurturer and just provider and like great friend and all these
Yeah,
things.
man.
And so it was that was a fun one to watch.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
kinda like her navigating, what she wanted to do or become and
Right.
get healed up at things and whatnot. But she was a fun person to kind of just watch her life unfold for the better.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that greatly benefited you guys as well. And you the same, both of you guys grew exceptionally well. So that was a fun one.
Well, I will say, like, her defining moment, I feel like, was when Ronnie Wilson, we'd only been going there for like a month and a half, maybe. And Ronnie gets up on stage and he's just like, "Where's Haley Gilkerson at?" And like, you could just see Haley get like this big. Like, she's like, "Please don't." And I was like, "She's right here." And he's like, "Stand up." And she's like, "No." And he's like, "You need to stand up." So he's like, "I just feel like the Lord is just saying that you're going to be a voice for women, that that your wings are just folded up right now, and they're just gonna open, and you're just gonna be so free, and you're gonna be somebody that somebody can come to and be like just a friend for women, and dude, I held on to that. I'm like, all right, like here it is, Lord. Like this is what, and like, I'll be honest, prophecy is still something that is very iffy for me.
Yeah.
Like I really got to know you, believe you.
Right.
I'm gonna pray about it, because that's something that's still just kind of up here for me.
Okay.
But I was just like, all right, Lord, like I know Ronnie. You know,
Yeah.
I think that even if he's wrong, I'm still gonna hold on to that.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, like most of her friends are single moms that I feel like, you know, they constantly are asking her questions. Just she's just somebody that somebody can come to.
Yeah.
And I love that. So like she has her little community now, and then like you said, you know, like walking in freedom. I mean, like her wings are fully open now.
Yeah.
So it is awesome, and I feel like that was the defining moment.
That's cool.
So we still talk about that prophecy today.
That's cool. I like that. When you guys started having kids, do you think that in a weird way, I mean, obviously having kids is like a lot of pressure because you're raising a human being to become a person, you know? Do you feel like, or were there any defining moments that kind of strengthened your marriage by having kids? Because it maybe like shifted the focus a little bit.
Yeah.
To not on you guys, but now you're both partnering and like raising a child. And
honestly, I think it made it harder.
Did it?
You know, because like once again, like we were still like we got pregnant with Archer. We moved into a new house in Cardington. So now we're new homeowners. We're new parents. Still a little chemically imbalanced. And now we have way more responsibilities, and we really haven't cleaned up our marriage.
Okay.
So, you know, now we have, like...
You're just adding a little bit more.
Yeah, we're just like, oh, let's throw another kid on. Like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So, I think that it made it harder, for sure. You know, there's... me and Haley just recently have intentionally tried to... spend more time with each other and focus more on us than the kids. Because we've got 3 kids under 7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you know, they're constantly demanding attention, and that's just what kids do.
Right.
But then, like, when, you know, you become a roommate with your spouse, that's never going to work.
Yeah.
You know, because now you're just relying on them for responsibilities. And when we had Scarlett, I picked up a second job because when me and Haley were in premarital counseling, I had made a promise to her that she could be a stay-at-home mom. I said, I will do whatever it takes because that's what you want to do. So with Archer, she was a stay-at-home mom. I was working one job.
Okay.
When we had Scarlett, she was a stay-at-home mom. I was working a full-time job and then serving tables at Cracker Barrel 4 out of the 7 nights a week, and I was a closer.
Okay.
So I'd work from 7 to 3:30 at the township that I was working at, and then I'd work 4 to 10, 4 nights out of the week.
Those are long days.
It is. And, you know, like Haley was basically a single mom. You know, because I was never home because I was constantly just trying to work so that we could, you know, get by.
Yeah.
And she was babysitting kids too to try to help out too.
Okay.
But then, you know, now you got more kids that you're responsible for. And then I would get home and she would shove a kid in my face. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want that, you know, I need a break. Well, she needed a break from just being at home with the kids. So like, you know, she saw reinforcements walk through the door, and so, man, dude, it was hard. Like that was hard too. Really until we had Knox, and I was like, Haley, you got to go back to work. Like there's only so many hours in the day for me to work.
Right.
So she went back to work part time when she got pregnant with Knox, and then I got a new job.
Okay.
And now like we walk in so much freedom because of that new job. So, you know, we've been trying to figure out a way for her not to work, but her paycheck is basically like our fun money.
Okay.
You know, like if we want to work on the house or vacations or anything like that, just goes into a savings account.
So side note, I was talking with a woman today and she was talking about like her side hustle. And I was like, so basically she got in this company that will pay you to write thank you letters to their clients.
Really?
And it's what she showed me a picture of it. It is, I think it's, what was it? 10 letters a day. is $250 a week, which is $1,000 a month. But if you do, I mean, the companies will pay you mathematically. So like if you do 1,000 letters a week, or like 500 or 200 letters a week, you can get up to $6,000 a month.
Jeez.
And just write, because the companies want handwritten thank you letters to their clients, so they'll pay people. And you have like a script that you copy, you know, what they want you to write out and stuff. But I was asking, I was like, how long does it take you to write a letter? She's like, maybe 2 to 3 minutes per letter. She's like, you just cut out, you know, an hour or 2 hours a day, kind of space it out however you want, take a break when your hand needs a break. She's like, but it's the easiest money I've ever made. And I was like, that's wild. It's like, send me a link. I'm curious to know what that looks like.
Right, yeah.
If I can make $6,000 a month, just
Absolutely.
pick a day, write thank you letters all day, and then ship them out and stuff. And but yeah, it's always yeah, that was just a side thing. So when you guys, how did you navigate like the whole chemically imbalancing? Like, are you guys on medication or?
Yeah, so we figured out that Haley has Hashimoto's, which is a pretty common thyroid condition.
Okay.
So she takes so what sucks about a thyroid, man, is it's different for everybody.
Okay.
So like Haley's had these things called thyroid storms because like they overdosed her or underdosed her, and like her body's literally cold. So like her body will drop like 4 degrees. So like where your body's supposed to be 98, hers will be 94.
Okay.
She can't move. She's throwing up. She's like on death's door is what it looks like. I'm not saying that she's gonna die, but like it's bad.
Wow.
So like I mean that's been 7 years, and like they still don't have her dosage right. So
really?
So like it just kind of, you know, like they're just trying to find that sweet spot. And then like Haley's body, everybody's body changes over time too.
Right.
So you know, like different hormones are hitting her, and so it's gonna be a lifelong thing of her trying to find the right dosage. And
so when it's like flaring up, does she have to like be aware to, or does it change her personality or like her outward or whatever, and she like isn't aware of that it's happening? She just knows that it's flaring up.
So it's not something that you feel, but it's definitely like her emotions and stuff. Okay. So like she didn't take her medicine for like a week, actually like 2 weeks ago, because like we just couldn't make it to the pharmacy before they would close, or kept forgetting, or you know, put stuff in front. So that following week, like she knew it. She knew that she was pretty rude to us, pretty short-tempered.
So it just makes her become a little bit more edgy, and
it does. And then like there's just like some irrational things, you know, like most normal people wouldn't outburst like that, and then she does, and then like, you know, 20 minutes later she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sorry, I don't know. So a lot of that is that. And then just, I mean, you know, like Haley's becoming a pretty holistic person. So like she's trying to just like do a bunch of natural stuff. Yeah. And I do feel like since she's done natural things, that has helped out tremendously. Yeah. I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot, and you know, he has like holistic people on there. Right. And like we've started just looking into like vitamins and minerals that your body's supposed to have. Okay. And if you just take those, I mean, like it's been night and day just for us, just to take random vitamins or minerals that our body's supposed to have. Yeah, so. Yeah.
I started taking what was it? Always vitamin C, but then magnesium and zinc. Yeah, I'll take every day. Yeah. So. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that Haley just knows, you know, like if she's acting a certain way, or she even just feels tired. Like that's another side effect, is like, if your thyroid's off, you're just constantly tired. Okay. And like, you know, I have my days where I'm just like, man, I have a thyroid problem because I'm tired all the time.
Well, that could be, or your low T too. You know, like that was part of mine too, is that like my low T, I'm 24 years old, man. I should be running marathons. And I could barely, like once I got home from work, I just couldn't get off the couch. Yeah. Like I was so exhausted. And that's one thing with Haley too, is like she, you know, like there's tired, and then there's just like Haley couldn't function. You know, like the kids are like, I want to play. She's like, I barely could get on my feet to go do anything. Yeah. So, but that's another thing, is like when her thyroid's good, so she takes another pill. I can't remember what that's for, but we're getting old, man. We're just popping pills like like a junkie. Like that's what we do. So, but she takes something else. But when it's all good, I mean, like Haley is like 100%. Like that's Haley's good, but if one thing's off, you can tell that it's just like she's really tired. She's kind of edgy. She's it's just a combination of things, man.
Okay.
And we got 3 kids. Like, we're always tired anyway.
Oh yeah,
So, like,
yeah. I don't have kids, but I know my nephews. They're getting to an age now where like they're kind of more like on their own. They can take care of themselves, you know. But
Right.
there was a time when was it? It was, I think it was last year, sometime during the holidays, and I had one of them over for, I kid you not, for 2 days straight. It was question after question after question after question. And we weren't even, it wasn't that we were physical, like we weren't at the zoo or fishing or
Right.
going on hikes, you know,
Yeah.
12 hours a day. It's the mental capacity of
Right.
constant conversation.
Right.
And I walked through Rachel and Andy's door at their house, dropping him off, and Andy looks at me and he goes, "How you feeling?" It's like you could just see it. Like everything in me was just drained. And I'm
Right.
like, I'm going to take a month off from hanging out with my nephews. I said, you enjoy yourself.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
going home. I'm not even staying to talk. Like, I need my nap.
It's crazy. Like, you think that you're like, oh, like kids aren't gonna be that bad, and then it's a constant.
They're
like,
just so busy.
oh, dude, we were like I said, I just came from the zoo.
Yeah.
We saw 4 exhibits, and of course, there's like a person at every exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
My kids asked them 10 questions each, so these people got 30 questions in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So-
yeah. It's great for kids to be curious and stay wondrous. Like, I never want to hinder that. But
right.
yeah, when I watched them, I'm just like, man, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's funny because typically, like, when I was growing up, like, you remember little tidbits, like what your parents did and stuff.
Oh,
And they're
yeah.
like, all right, I have to go to my office and do some work. It's like, no, you're going to your office. Just, you can have 10 minutes of quiet.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know? And
Heck yeah,
so,
man.
yeah, it's always fun and interesting to watch kids' personalities develop and how they grow and stuff of that nature.
Right.
So what you're a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go out this year? Did you
Yeah.
get anything?
Yeah, actually, so I got a doe during gun season. I much prefer to bow hunt. You know,
Okay.
like gun hunting to me is kind of cheating, but
Yeah.
I'm not above cheating if I need meat in my freezer.
Right.
But also, like, the deer are just so skittish during gun season,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like during archery season, they're just kind of in their element. And
Why is that?
I mean, it's just quieter. You know, like typically during bow season is rut, so that's when the bucks are mating with the does.
Okay.
And then especially like early season, you know, they're just kind of there.
What's
you know,
early season?
beginning or end of September is the first week of bow season.
Okay.
So I mean, like when I say that everything's quiet, like the crops haven't been picked, you know, everything's just full.
So nature in itself is just kind of
yeah,
in a
like,
peaceful mode.
right. There's
Okay.
there's nothing going on. So like when you're out there, the only thing I hate about early season is the mosquitoes. Like
Oh, yeah.
those first 2 frosts hit, then I'm like, all right, like we're golden
Yeah.
because everything's dead. But that first day of bow season, man, like everything is just there. Like
Okay.
nothing's been disturbed. Everything is just like right where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And that's I find that I talk to Jesus quite a bit when I go hunting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my God time. But yeah, so I got a doe, and then actually the following week, Archer got his first deer.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
He was stoked.
Oh, dude, the kid is more lucky than I am. And if you ask my dad, I'm pretty lucky when it comes to hunting.
Okay.
There's 4 does that are like at least 95 yards. I paced it out and I counted 100, but my pace is right off. So I'll say 95 yards out, which for a 7-year-old boy is it's a long shot for me.
Yeah.
And there's 4 does and one of them's facing us. And I told him, shoot one of the ones that are broadside. So they're facing sideways. He shoots, they all go running, one's dipping. So I'm like, oh, I know you hit her, you know, cause she's kind of like hobbling as she's running off the field. So we go walking up and, you know, there's no blood, there's no hair, which is what you look for when you shoot a deer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know you hit her. So we're looking and we go walking up to about where she ran in the woods. And I look up and I'm like, dude, she's right there. She's right there. So I'm crying, he's crying, like we're jumping up and down, you know. So I drag her out and we're just like looking at her. I'm like, where's the blood at? Like this deer's dead, obviously, but like where'd you shoot her at? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you should know. So I roll her over and there's like a little bit of blood that squirts out her chest. I'm like, did you shoot the one that was facing us? He's like, yeah. I was like, don't ever do that. Because, like, if you're looking, I mean, like, especially
it's
at
a smaller target.
At 100 yards, man, like, you're shooting, like, this big. You know, like it's an inch at that. And he got her.
That's
I don't know how he did it. But I was like, great shot. Don't do that again.
Aim. You want the deer to be angled, wider target.
Right. Yeah. You know, if the deer's like this and you have this whole side compared to you're shooting at this, like that, it's just never gonna work.
That's cool.
I mean, obviously it worked for him.
Now, did you get did you get a hide or mount, or was it just the meat?
No, we just got the meat. Okay. I thought about getting like a deerskin rug with her, but it was kind of a smaller doe too. Okay. So I'm just like, I'm gonna be spending like $110 to get this hide. Okay. Whereas the meat itself was like $90.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's wild how much meat you get from a deer.
Yeah.
I remember I went to a deer farm years ago because they had to wean the herd.
Oh yeah.
As they called it. So like it was I hadn't been hunting in a long time, and this guy owned a deer farm, and it was me, Bill, and Steve. I think the three of us went out there and, brought our guns, and he's like, all right, go ahead and hop in the back of the truck. And I'm thinking the only deer hunting I've ever done is like you walk in the woods or you drive deer out. Like that's what I'm thinking. Right.
Yeah.
We get in his like side by side. He installed 2 chairs at the top. I'm in the back seat, and someone's sitting up front, and he's the driver. And we start driving through his deer farm, and he's like, all right, red tags you can shoot. Green tags you don't shoot, because the green tags are the bucks that people pay like 10, 15, 20 grand.
Right.
Massive racks to go and hunt. And it's like 400 acre farm. And so we're driving, we're cruising, and he's like, you want that one? I was like, sure. He's like, all right, stick my gun outside the truck. It was the easiest hunting I've ever done in my life, but it was so much fun. And so we were out there for maybe an hour or two, just driving around, killing deer. And we get to a spot. He's like, you want that one? I was like, sure. So go out and shoot it. Well, I'd nicked its throat or something. It took off running. And he's like, oh, you didn't drop it. You didn't drop it. And so he's like, let me see the gun. He takes it, and he's looking. Dude, he went full Rambo, like, to take this thing out. And he's shooting 4 or 5 rounds. Finally, he stops, and he was running after it. And he's like, all right, where's my knife? Gets it, guts it, pick it up, throw it in the truck. And it was a wild experience. But yeah, the amount of meat, I think I probably spent maybe $150 to get everything. I mean, it varies, because if you get like sausage and summer sausage or something like that, it costs more, and jerky costs more. But I mean, I go to the butcher shop to pick up the box, and I'm thinking, it's just going to be in a little box. It was like 2 boxes.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you get a ton of meat out of deer.
Right.
So
yeah.
To say all that, I love deer hunting.
Oh yeah.
I love getting meat from any animal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, between me and Archer's deer, and then we had a turkey process this year. I mean, like, we filled up our freezer. Mm-hmm. Well, and then Andy has given us like some elk and moose meat too. So we're pretty stocked up at this point. But that was Archer's big thing. Like, if we had anybody over, because that's all we cook with. Like, if you come to our house, we very rarely have like actual hamburger. It's usually deer burger or elk or whatever. But he'd be like, that's my deer. You're eating my deer. I killed that. And I'm like, attaboy, man.
You can eat that steak, Dad.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Me,
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Awesome. I watched a short clip the other day that a woman was talking about. I think there were like 3 or 4 animals that you do not want to eat, and they were like polar bear, because they could have extreme parasites in their meat, and regular bears can have like worms in their meat because they just eat trash, like black bears, brown bears, like they just eat whatever they can get their hands on. And then there was like some other little animal, but then she was like, basically any other animal you can cook and eat. She's like, you want a squirrel? You can eat it. Chipmunk, a rabbit, deers, buffaloes, elks, like you can virtually eat any animal in the world. But then she was like, but with plants, there's like 700 plus types of plants and like certain berries in the United States that you can't even eat because of the toxics, or they're poisonous.
Right. Yeah.
So her thing was like, she was just basically saying like, meat is actually designed and created to eat.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so it was maybe like 2 minutes, but it was a really fascinating just concept again, because it's one of those things where, you have PETA, who are so against, eating meat because animals, whatever.
Right.
But they're purposefully created for the consumption by humans to live. Like, dominion,
Plus, like, if we didn't, like, you think of how many people hit a deer with their car every year, I think I just saw the number a couple weeks ago, but like they came out with like the deer harvest numbers for last year, and it was like 1.5 million deer got killed in Ohio.
That's crazy.
It sounds like a lot, but there's like 10 million deer in Ohio that are gonna breed, and then you're gonna have like they'll reproduce that number this year.
Yeah.
So like it sounds like a lot of deer, but if we didn't do that, think of how many deer are going to be on the road that you're going to hit, or they're going to eat your vegetables, or so. I mean, like, I get PETA's stance of like, oh, you shouldn't kill animals, but like if we didn't, you'd be begging us to.
Yeah,
because
I've been seeing Ted Nugent up in Michigan has been on a rant with, like, I don't know if it's city council, it's something with the ODNR and their rule ranking and stuff. Like, they outlawed again certain, I don't quote me, but it's a big issue because he was talking about a type of bird, might have been pheasants or quail. I think it was quail hunting. They've kind of like limited that again to where now they're going to become an overpopulated species, and you have to kill them. Like, you have to take them out.
Yeah.
And he was not happy.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm any hunter. And there was a gentleman who was an older guy who was like in his 70s on his own land, own gun, and he was hunting or something. Police showed up, ended up confiscating the gun, ended up destroying it, and then he got slapped with a felony charge on his own land hunting.
Oh my gosh.
And it's been a big ordeal, but yeah. Animal population control is like, it's needed.
It is.
It's people need to eat,
right?
Yeah. Not everybody wants these chemical raised cows and all the shots they give them and chemicals they put in their meat and bloodstream, and then they're raising that for the next 15 years or 10 years or whatever, how long before they're slaughtered and butchered and but it's like.
Yeah, I mean, like, I grew up on a cow farm, so, like, I mean, it was a small one. Like, when I say cows, like, we had, like, maybe 6 or 7 at a time. But, like, if you looked at, like, our hamburger and then, like, the hamburger you get in a store, it looked completely different.
No, they taste different.
Yeah.
Taste, texture, it's vastly different.
Absolutely.
That's why, so I had elk burgers, and they're elk ground up, and you cook one of those, and it's like, this tastes so much better.
Right.
Than the meat you get at a Kroger or Meijer. And
well, plus, like, if you when you throw your meat together, say you have like Kroger cooking over here and like just regular a local farmer cooking over here burger, look at how much grease comes off the Kroger burger compared to the farmer burger.
Yeah,
like it's vastly different. Like, you could almost fill up a freaking cup with the Kroger burger.
Oh yeah.
But this burger, like, there's so much less grease because there's just so much less crap pumped into it. So I'm a big proponent of buy local.
Oh yeah.
Don't buy from Kroger. Don't buy from Meijer. Whatever.
Even the steaks are different when you buy like actual grass-fed steaks.
Yeah.
They cook different. The texture's different. They're more soft.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like correct wording for that.
Yeah.
But
no, it is.
They're not as tense. They're not as rough or hard. Like, it's actually really good meat.
Yeah.
So yeah. A little sidetrack there about hunting and killing.
No, that's
So, do you ever take Archer fishing on the boat?
So
or is it just for like cruising?
Our boat's more of like a fun sport boat, but I do.
So can you run like a tagline and do like
you can fish off of our boat though. I've actually wanted to get some guys together.
Let's do it.
Just to go fishing.
In.
So,
I'm in.
But my problem is I'm too much of a chicken. Like, I bought a fish finder to put on our boat, and then I realized that you have to like drill a hole in the boat to put the fish finder. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I've seen these things on Amazon where it's like a bobber and you just like throw it out and it just like kind of sonars and it sends it to your phone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I might do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not drilling. I'll pay somebody.
I'd be
but
nervous too.
Yeah, I'm not drilling a hole in my boat and be like, oh, Zach, your boat's like It's sinking. So
why is my feet wet?
Yeah.
Like, why is there water in this?
well, like even like yesterday when we were out during that storm, and the severe weather, dude, like so we have a bilge pump which like pumps out water that gets in the bottom of your boat. But we have a plug on the back of the boat. So when you pull it out, you pull that plug, and that just kind of like lets the engine air out. But if you have any water in the bottom, that's where all the water comes out at.
Okay.
So Archer knows how to do that. So he takes it off. And like, I'm not kidding. It was a solid stream like out of the plug for at least like 7 minutes. So like, I bet that we probably had like close to 20 gallons of water in our boat, which is like, I mean, like it's scary because you're like, how close were we to sinking? Like I had the bilge pump pumping out. So like it's doing its best, but like, I mean, dude, it was torrential downpours. Like it was
you guys were on the lake as it was raining. Okay.
Yeah. Like we were in a cove. So like we weren't like out in the middle, but, like I said, like it was so close to where we were, that I was like, well, we don't have time to pull out. So I was like, I guess we're just kind of here.
I gotcha.
And then like the rain was raining hard, but then like the wind picked up and then it like changed directions. And I was just like, oh, that's not good. And then there was a bolt of lightning that hit. It had to be close to like 40 yards. Like it was not far from the boats. And I was just like, all right, are we having fun yet? Like,
yeah.
So that was a little bit nerve wracking, but yeah, I would love to get some guys fishing on the boat. It's just I don't have like the fishing equipment to be a good fisher. Like we'd have to really get into a good spot.
Yeah, I had my friend Alex, who's a semi-pro bass fisherman.
Yeah,
and I was picking his brain a little bit, and I was like, "What kind of lures you use?" And he's very straightforward. Like he doesn't. He was like, he's like, you see these guys show up and they got 2-3 tackle boxes. Everything's different. He's like, I like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
He's like, I use gummy worms, a hook. He's like, I stick to 3 main colors. That's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm probably one of those guys that have a tackle box with a little bit of everything just because I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm not a good fisherman.
So
like
after
that.
he broke down like using gummy worms and certain rigs and stuff, I did some research Googling like certain rigs for bass. So I went to the store and bought 2 or 3 different types of worms, and so I'm gonna try it. Like when I go out, like I'm not gonna use any hard plastics. Just gonna stick to the gummy worms and see how that works. But it's funny though. I think majority of all the bass I've ever caught was using a brown worm.
Okay,
just a gummy brown worm.
Yeah,
just stick it on there and just jig it and. Yeah, but it's just interesting.
So my uncle actually, they don't go on when they go on vacations. That's all they do is fish. Like that's my uncle's retired now, so literally every single day, probably he's fishing.
Okay.
And like when they would go to Canada, they go fishing for 3 weeks. If they go to Florida, they go fishing for 3 weeks. Like that's all he does.
Okay.
And he's one of those guys that had like 30 different rods. He had 4 different tackle boxes. Like he had a huge bass boat. It was awesome.
Okay.
And I did not hang out with him nearly enough when he was like really big because like he sold his bass boat. And now like I don't think they fish as much, but they bought a cabin in Coshocton.
Okay.
And they live like right along a river, so he can just walk out and start fishing. But you would think I'd be a better fisherman because he's my uncle, but I'm not that good. Like I can throw a bobber in the water and I can catch bluegill all day. And that's about it. So.
Well, it's like fishing at Zach's house that one night.
Exactly.
I'm using a hard plastic, just trying to catch something, and he's got his fly rod with a cigar. And it's like okay, old time Rivers.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing showing up? Like he's got his vest on. And he's like, your boys catching anything?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, dude.
But we're talking about taking a couple guys camping. They just got back from a trip in West Virginia on like some privately owned like 500-acre area.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
It's like we're talking about hopefully going sometime in the fall, so it's not miserable with this heat in the summer.
Right.
So like, bro, I don't do hot. Like I don't do heat.
I'll
go in the fall. I'll do winter camping.
Right.
I was like, I'm not.
Dude, the last couple of weeks, like I just like walk outside and then like I got a little shelf right here, so like I get like a little sweat on my shelf, and it's like, man, dude, I want to like come outside and like breathe the air and not like suck water. Yeah. Like that's all it is. It's so humid.
Yeah. I had bought the past couple weddings, the ceremony has been outdoors and in the middle of this heat, and I'm like, man, because when you're carrying gear and you're walking, you're running, like, and I'm a sweater, so like once I start, it's hard for me to stop. Like I have to be in the AC for 20 minutes for my body to go, oh, it's finally cool, you know. So I bought a little they're called So Cool Jet Pack fan or something.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, this thing's a beast.
Is it really?
It's a beast. And
really?
So the wedding I did last week or 2 weeks ago, the vendors were like, or the photographer was like, send me a link. She's like, I'm buying that today. Because she had one of those neck fans.
Oh, yeah.
And she saw mine. She's like, yours is so much better.
Right.
She's like, how much was it? I was like, $60. And she goes, $60?
Sold.
She's like, I spent $35 on this, and it doesn't even do half of what yours does. I was like, well,
that's awesome.
So yeah, I love my fan.
That's awesome.
It's a game changer. And even what's interesting though, because like even in the heat, just having the breeze helps. So it's done wonders. I really like it. So father, husband, 3 kids. You just got a new job.
I did, yeah.
What, you being you, what drives you, what motivates you to still strive to become better, to provide better, to be better, like all the things?
I mean, you know, one of my greatest heroes in my whole life is my dad. Mm-hmm. Like he's just, you know, if you know Kenny Gilkerson, you've pretty much met the man. In my opinion, yeah. I mean, like he's just, to have that model growing up. You know, he wasn't perfect, but my gosh, like he was pretty stinking close to it. So, watching how hard he works, I mean, like, even though I am only working one job now, like we bought my wife's grandfather's house and we've been remodeling that. So, I have not been as motivated here lately to get stuff done, but like we've added a dining room, we've added a mud room, we've added a room down in the basement for like a playroom is what we're doing right now. We've redone the flooring, I've remodeled the bathroom. Like we've literally, there's not a room that we haven't touched in this house. And I think a lot of that is just like my dad was constantly doing something.
Yeah.
So when I want to do better, you know, like where I'm at right now at work, I love it. But like, you know, when I got hired, I asked Andy, I said, well, what's the potential for growth? You know, and he's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I like, you know, where I'm at right now, I can't go anywhere. Like I want to be better wherever I go. So like he kind of laid some stuff out and I'm like, okay, man, like as long as I can grow or like I got a goal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a very goal-oriented person. My wife calls it a checklist. Like, I'm a checklist guy. I'm like, you know, and it doesn't always work because, you know, like with her, I'm like, well, I checked all these boxes for you today. Why aren't you happy? Like, I don't understand.
Oh, wait, check thyroid.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm like, you know, I that's just how I am. So, you know, if something's not checked off, I get really antsy and I'm just, you know, if we have people over and like the yard's not mowed, she's like, well, I need help cleaning the house. I'm like, well, I don't have my yard mowed. Like that's on the list. Like it's not checked off. So, but I think having a hardworking dad growing up as a role model, having really no option, because like when you have a wife and kids, like you don't have an option. Like you have to provide. There's not a, you know, this might make some people upset, but like if you're a deadbeat, man, like what are you doing?
Right.
You know, like if you're not trying to better yourself or better your family, then are you really doing anything in life?
Yeah.
And I think I've surrounded myself with men who are not like that. You know, like they're constantly striving to try to be better, or to do better, or to guide somebody into being better.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a huge help for me. So
that's cool. I like that. Do you, so in work and navigating life, do you find yourself striving, when I say striving, I mean that in a good way, towards excellence or towards just getting things checked off and done? I
always tell people I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm a master of none. So I think I'm more of a checklist guy.
Okay.
You know, like I would love to be excellent, but you know,
or just having like that excellence nature, because you being like a checklist person, I don't think I'm a checklist type of person.
Oh, really?
So like if I'm going to commit to something, my brain instantly starts navigating, okay, how's this going to be done with excellence to like the best of the best. And I'm not saying you don't do that.
No.
But just the way I operate, it's like if I'm going to do something, it has to be worth my while.
Right.
You know, nobody likes doing something and then no gratification came from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in excellence, I had a conversation with a friend a few months ago, and I was asking, I was like, do you think excellence can be a bad thing? And he was like, it can be a challenging thing for some people if they don't operate that way.
Yeah.
Because I think with excellence, it's really easy to see like the negative pieces of what someone isn't doing just because they're not doing it your way.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's just, I don't know where I'm going with that, but
no, I think that you're 100% right. Cause I do think that you're an excellence person. Like we were talking before you set up, I was like, man, dude, I thought you just kind of turn on the camera, turn on the mic and we're ready to go. Like, but like you've got all this stuff and like my wife is an excellence person. She is a perfectionist.
Okay.
And like, if it's not perfect, she gets stressed out. it's gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
I am not like that. I'm not a perfect guy. I'm like, if it looks good, it's good. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, so I 100% agree. Like, you're an excellence person. So I'm a checklist guy.
Yeah, it would make sense. So both pieces or both sides are still goal oriented.
Yeah.
Just done in different nature.
Right. And I think marrying a perfectionist has made me a little bit better, of not just like, oh, it's done, let's move on.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be done well. But I've also kind of like brought her down of like, it does not have to be perfect.
Right.
It can, as long as it looks really good.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to notice but you.
There's that balance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's going to notice but you.
Right. So
I've fallen into that many times with like editing and getting work done. And so like recently I was working on a corporate video, and there's maybe like two things I noticed in there. I'm like, I probably spent 3 hours on just like a short, like 4-second moment.
Yeah.
Of just like making this absolutely perfect. In the end, I'm like, Sam, they're not even going to notice.
Right.
They're not even going to be aware of what this 4 seconds is doing to their video. And I'm like, it's good. It's good.
Right.
And they didn't see it. Like, it was just like,
right.
But to someone who does that a lot, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Yeah. Excellence is
Haley did like this calligraphy class. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's something that she did. So she has like some of the best handwriting I've ever seen.
She should do the letter thing. That could be a side hustle for her.
It would be if she could write a letter in 2 to 3 minutes, but it's got to be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be 10 minutes on one letter because she's like, oh, I messed up that letter. And I'm like, nobody's going to know. Like, nobody's going to see that letter. Amber Camp had her write a bunch of stuff. And like, dude, she rewrote it 40 times, at least 40 times.
Okay.
She'd be like, oh, that letter just doesn't, I'll just start over. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just write it out and it'd be done. Like, let's just move on. So once again, there is a balance there. Like, you can't be, like you said, with that 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Nobody would have noticed it, but you did.
You can very easily get stuck with a perfectionism mentality.
Right.
And it kind of, it faults you from growth or getting things accomplished because it takes you 10 times longer because it's just got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually I'll just be like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's great. Nobody's going to notice.
I think that's the huge thing between like big picture and small picture people. Because like that's my wife's she says she's a big picture, but she's a small picture.
Okay.
Like if she sees this bear and she's like, oh, it's got to be, see like that one line right there?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's just, I'm like big picture
but
looks
big
great.
Picture.
Yeah, it looks great. But she'll notice that one little thing and she will. And especially if it's her. So that's, but once again, marrying or finding somebody or even just having like a guide or a mentor that's just like on the opposite side, I think it kind of grounds you or balances you out of just like, doesn't got to be perfect, but you got to do it well. So,
yeah. So are you guys, is this your forever home where you're at right now?
So it's her grandfather's. He built it himself back in 56.
Okay.
So I would like to say that it is, but you never know where the Lord's going to take you.
Yeah.
So I would like it to be, but then there's still like parts of us that want to build a new house. That's still kind of like on we want to do this. But when I was demoing the bathroom, like his handwriting's on the 2x4s.
Oh, okay.
Which is just so special. Like I wasn't as close to him as I'd like to be, but he was basically like another grandfather to me because like I helped him chop wood or he helped me fix my chainsaw or just like little things. He was so good at like small engine stuff. Like people would bring him stuff and he could get it running.
Okay.
He was a machinist. He was a locksmith. He was kind of like one of those guys that could just do anything. But I also think it was like that generation. Like you had to be.
You had to learn how to do it.
Yeah, unless if you had money, great. But if you didn't, you got to learn it. And that's basically like where we're at. I've done 95% of the stuff by myself in my house.
Okay.
Except for some of the electrical stuff. My father-in-law's helped because he's a commercial electrician.
Okay.
Or electrical engineer is what he is. And then HVAC stuff, my dad is an HVAC guy. Some of the plumbing stuff my uncle's helped with. And then I won't do anything exterior. So like doors and windows, I'll pay somebody every day to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you mess it up, man, like that's the exterior of your house.
Yeah.
Like, air's getting in, air's getting out, something's molding, something's leaking. So I'll pay somebody to do that. But but drywall, flooring, most of the electric, some of the HVAC, all of the 95% of the plumbing I've done.
Okay.
So
I feel like there's gratification in that. It's a lot of work.
It is,
it's a lot of work, but then it's like, hey, I did that, or I can do that.
Right. Well, then the other thing is that my wife's a perfectionist. Yeah. So as she's seeing this go up, she's like, "There's a spot right there," and I'm like, "Thank you, honey. You can go away now."
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, I'm not done. Not done yet. So, but yeah, it is. I mean, to say that like most of the house I've done by myself is huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just YouTube. Like I would like to say, I just know this stuff. No, I look it up on YouTube, man. I watch 50 videos before I attempt something.
YouTube is phenomenal for looking up how to do things.
Yes.
Like it's endless information.
Right. Yeah.
So what else do you enjoy doing besides hunting, boating, house construction?
I wouldn't say I like house construction. I think we have to do it, but no, I really like getting together with people. Like I'm a people person. I just don't get to do that as often as I'd like to because I have a family, I have a full-time job. We're constantly doing something to the house. So, but there's times that like I do get to hang out with people, and just like I grow off of people's experiences, I feel like. And I think that it's good, like it's healthy. Like we don't go to church 100% of the time.
You sinner.
I know, that's what I am, man. I'm a heathen. Man. It's 100%. But I also feel like church could be like right here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I understand the construct of church and I think that it's healthy. But at the same time, like this, like I could get just as much from you as I could get the pastor on Sunday. So, I think just meeting like that. But when you say what else I like to do, I honestly love my job. Like, I've never had a job where we went on vacation to Myrtle Beach beginning of June. Okay. And, like we got back and Haley's like, oh, I don't want to go back to work. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Let's go. So it's something that I genuinely enjoy because it's challenging. Like you were saying that, kids ask you a million questions. I counted one day on average, I get about 50 phone calls a day. Just, different supervisors needing something or my guys wanting something or somebody wanting a question answered or something like that. So it's challenging in that aspect. And then just trying to like keep everything organized. I am not an organized person because I'm a checklist guy, so working on that to get that organization has been challenging as well. And I think that I'm like excelling in that. So it's something that I know that we shouldn't find our identity in our jobs, but I do find my identity in my job just because I love it. It's something that, I never thought I would be a project manager. But now that I am, I'm like, man, like I could have been doing this a long time ago. Yeah. Like this is now, obviously, you got to ask Andy if I'm doing a good job, but I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. He said you're not. No. Well, yes. Andy's going to watch this podcast and be like, did you know? We got some things we got to work on.
I need you to come to my office first thing, 8 a.m. I have some paperwork.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But I love it, man. It's something that, I have a lot of freedom with my family, my time now. And it's something that like I wake up and like I just want to do good.
No, it is just Monday through Friday, right?
It is. I've had to go in a couple times on Saturdays just for random things, but but even then, like it's it's something that I'm like, oh man, if it needs done, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, because number one, like Andy was a friend when I got the you know, when he offered me the job.
Right.
So like I want him to excel. And if he excels, I excel.
Right.
So to work for somebody that has your heart and interest is huge.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that opportunity.
Right.
So it's that within itself is just a huge blessing. So I'm like, you know, so usually like my days, like I'll work until I have to get the kids from school. And then, you know, like I'll do all the baseball things or whatever we have that night. And then like when we lay our kids down at 8, then I'll start doing paperwork or something until like 11 or midnight, you know, just trying to make sure all my stuff's taken care of.
Yeah.
I never dread it. Like it's never something that I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now when I get phone calls from certain supervisors, I'm like, oh my gosh. but I think everybody does that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
That's cool. What's next for you and Haley then? You're done having kids, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the vasectomy. No more babies.
The snip.
Now we have.
I'm surprised you're not talking like that.
I was worried I would.
Like,
yeah, right.
You know.
Me and Haley have actually talked about adoption.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a thing. Like we're still leaning into that. But we're both a little bit like we kind of jumped the gun with the vasectomy because it's a non-reversible one. So like I can't go back. And we knew that.
Oh, okay.
So because like at the time I'm like, oh my gosh,
what's a non? Because I know people who've had vasectomy.
They have. So
they
they took out like a certain length. Like it wasn't just like they cut the tube. Like they took out a certain length of the tube. So like it's not like they can like pull that, like they don't have a tube extender.
Oh, okay.
So and like the doctor said that
you can't pick that up at Home Depot or something.
No, can't get like a little fuel line to so it's a non-reversible one.
Okay.
So but then we're just like, man, like a fourth kid would just kind of round us out. So we don't know if we want to adopt. We don't know if we're done with 3.
Okay.
You know, I know if my dad sees this, he's gonna be like, "What are you thinking?" Most of the time, I'm like, "What am I thinking?" But
it's like every day. What are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like we have some days that we're just like, "Oh, these kids are awesome." Like, why don't we just have like 3 more?
Yeah.
And there's some days just like, oh my gosh, like, can we put them in the closet yet? Like, you know, we have one friend that's a CPS agent, and all the time when she comes over, I'm just like, you know, there's some things that
like,
you're going to see here.
Us.
Yeah, there's some things you're going to see here that are probably like not to code, but our kids are fed and they're loved. Like that's, you know.
And they're feral.
Yeah, and they're feral, you know. Yeah. So I don't know, man. We're like I said, we're coming up on 10 years of marriage, so
you have anything to do to celebrate that?
We're going to go on a cruise,
Nice.
just us.
What cruise line?
Carnival.
Okay.
So after we booked it, we were told that's the party cruise line, but
Is it?
That's what I've heard.
Good thing it's just the 2 of you.
It's just the 2, and I love watching drunk people. I think it's one of the most entertaining things.
Yeah.
Especially when like you're not responsible. You know, like if it's your buddy and he's drunk, you're like, oh man, I got to get him home.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like,
you're on a boat.
Yeah, go free, man. You're not my responsibility. So
that's funny. Yeah, I've had good and bad experiences with drunk people.
Yeah,
like 50-50. Sometimes they're a little too rowdy for me because you know, like covering events or weddings. And
yeah, sure.
I covered not the sandbar. It was a St. Patrick's Day. I was filming like a little highlight for Jamar, who's the DJ, and 55-year-old women who tan way too much or just botched out of their mind, and they're dancing and bumping into me, and I'm like, this is $7,000.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. You know, and I had one girl wanting to like swing me around, and I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Like the anxiety.
Right.
But yeah, so Carnival, is that 7 days?
It's a 6-day, 7-night.
Okay.
So like we come back.
Where are you boating to?
So we're gonna go to the Dominican, the Bahamas, and then like their Carnival's party island, like their own island.
They have an island.
They have an island.
I did not know.
And I've heard like that is the party destination.
Okay.
So the other thing is we didn't buy the drink package because we were going to.
Okay.
But like our whole cruise was $1,700 for both of us.
I feel like that's pretty cheap.
It is pretty cheap. The drink package was $3,000 for both. Yeah, I was like, it's more for the drinks than the whole freaking boat. Yeah, so it's $1,500 per person, and if one person gets it in the cabin, you have to get it too. The other, like, you know, that way, like, I couldn't get it, but then I'm like passing drinks to Haley.
her.
Yeah, you know. And then, like, if we...
Gosh, how could people drink that much?
Well, that's the other thing. I'm like, man, if I'm spending $3,000, like, I'm going to be lit every single day. And I don't want to, like, that would just be so miserable. Yeah, exactly.
You're getting, like, the bougiest of drinks.
Right, right. And you're so, like, it would just be so miserable because you're just sick all the time. Yeah. And, like, you know, like, I don't know. It's just not worth it.
Wow.
But then, like, you know, if we don't get it, we're spending probably, like, $20 or $30 per drink.
Per drink.
So me and Haley, one of the excursions that we're going to do is a bar hopping thing. So like you pay, I think it's like $75 a person. And then like they take you around the Dominican. It's our last day.
Okay.
So like we'll do that. And then like I figured like we'll have like one day where we're like, you know, we'll get some drinks or spread them out, you know, throughout the trip. Yeah. But we're just not big drinkers anyway. So it's not worth it for us.
I had a guest on here we were talking about, they had just gotten back. I think they just got back from a cruise, but we were talking about like what your favorite alcoholic drink was, and I said when I go on vacation my go-to is mojito.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like, I love a good mojito.
Right.
Haven't had it in the States ever. I only drink it when I go on vacation because it's just like a little sweetener, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And but yeah, a good mojito is very good.
See, I'm just a straight whiskey guy. I don't like any frills. I like straight whiskey or beer.
Have you had a mojito?
I have, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like them. I'm saying like my go-to. Like if I'm just like, I just want to drink.
Okay.
It's just a whiskey. Okay. Like I don't. But I mean, I like margaritas, mojitos. Mm-hmm. I love an old fashioned. The problem is you get an old fashioned. It's like this much. It's $16, but then like there's this much ice in it. So like you get like, you know,
half a shot.
Yeah,
half a shot of whiskey.
Exactly. Yeah, you know? Not even. Yeah. So I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like most drinks. I just
who watches your kids when you're gone?
So mom and dad are watching them the first 3 days, and then Haley's mom and dad are watching them like the last 3, and then like we'll pick them up that. Do
you have to fly anywhere?
Yeah, so me and Haley have never flown minus our first year of marriage together. So this will like we bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we bought plane tickets. So we're gonna be flying down to Florida.
Okay.
Because usually we just drive. Like especially with 3 kids, if we were to fly somewhere, it's like $3,000. Yeah. So it's just not worth it. But driving, I was like, man, like if we get a flat tire, like the boat's not waiting.
Right.
So, you know, like I would rather
they're gone with or
without exactly.
Have you seen videos of people when they dock in a different country and the people are running at the dock and they miss their boat? I'd be like, what do you do?
So we're gonna get a passport for that very reason. Like if there's any reason that you get stuck on the island, it is like it could take months.
Oh, it could take a long time.
Yeah. So I actually need to get on that. I was thinking that the other day. I was
you should get on that.
Like, we don't have a passport yet, so
you should get on that.
I have an expired one, I think, because like I've been to Mexico, but Haley's never been out of the country, so like we need to get her one.
It actually the process now I feel like is pretty fast. I got mine a few years ago, and to renew it I think is twice as fast.
Yeah,
you just fill out a form, get a new picture, and then you mail it in and they just mail it right back. To get a new passport or your first passport, it's a little bit more of a lengthy process. But I feel like when I sent mine in, it was maybe 10 days.
Oh, okay.
And it came back. So I don't know.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I feel like it happens very quick now.
I just need to make sure I can find like my old one, you know, like because you have like that book.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know if I have that book anymore.
And I think you need your birth certificate.
Yeah, so Haley, it's going to be a little bit difficult or more lengthy because like she had her name changed, you know, because we got married. So I like when she got her flying driver's license thing, that was a huge process because she had to bring our wedding certificate plus her birth certificate plus like the name change of like the date that the judge signed. It was huge.
Wow.
I was like, it sucks to be a woman. I'm glad. Can't pee outside, and you got way more documentation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I've always wanted to do is go on a cruise. just to try it out. Like, you know,
From what we've heard, I mean, like, so like all your meals are provided. So
Yeah.
like it's
and it's like buffet every day.
yeah, and like your room. So like you're thinking, like our thinking is like if Haley likes the cruise, we might try to take the kids on a cruise next year. And
Did you get one with a patio?
Yeah, so we have
Okay.
a yeah.
That'll be nice.
I told Haley, I'm like, if we're getting one, we got to get a balcony.
Yeah.
Because like if you get a porthole, it's okay. But then like if you get like an indoor cabin, you don't even know what it's doing outside.
Yeah.
I think that would be miserable.
Yeah.
Like you walk out and you're like, oh, it's raining. Like I didn't know, or you don't even know like what time of day it is if you don't look at your watch. Or whatever.
I would definitely prefer to have a balcony. What a wild thing will be though is like when you're out in the middle of the ocean and you go out at night and it's just pitch black.
That is a little bit scary.
And you're on a boat.
So I've been on 2 cruises, and that is like they both had balconies.
Okay.
And it is a little bit nerve wracking that you just kind of like look out and you're like, whoa, like this is you're very small.
We're in the ocean, like,
right?
This is the ocean,
Right? Yeah, yeah. That it is a little bit nerve wracking, but once again though, like I just to walk out on the balcony, like you hear the ocean all around you, like you know you get fresh air in your room. I told Haley, I'm like, it's worth the $400 or $500 upgrade to me. To me. So
yeah, I had I watched a video. I mean, this happened years ago. There was actually a guy who jumped off a cruise ship. Is like, I don't know if it was a dare or a prank or whatever, but like he jumped off and they never found him.
No way.
Like, he's gone.
Well, like
that was maybe 4 years ago.
Dude, that's no. I did see the one like here recently. There was a guy that jumped off one because his daughter fell overboard.
Yeah,
did you see
I saw that one.
Yeah. And then like they came back for
Yeah.
him, but like once again, like that was during the day.
Yeah,
So like people saw him.
The hard thing people don't understand is the waves look small. Like if there's some chop on the wave in the ocean, they look small from above. But when you're down there, they're like 4 or 5 feet high, 3 feet high.
Right.
And when your head is the only thing sticking out of the water,
right?
People can't see you
exactly
because the waves are moving up and down. They can't find you.
Right.
So that piece is a bit scary.
Yeah, that's. I mean, so like when we were at Myrtle Beach, like I got out to like where like I couldn't touch, and I was just like trying to like tread water. Yeah. And after like 5 minutes, I'm like, I'd die.
Yeah,
like, I'm so dead.
Give up.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm drowning because like number one, I'm out of shape, and then like number two, like it's hard, man. Like you're constantly like up and down, and like you're right, like the waves. You know, even if it's just like a little 3-foot wave, like if your head's right here, you know, you're constantly just trying to. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, and then. Like, We went to Florida a few years ago, and we actually were witnessing. I don't know what it's not back drag. Is it back drag?
Oh, like a rip current.
Rip current. Yeah, when two waves are intersecting each other.
Yeah,
and then that current comes back. I was like, that is wild.
Yeah, dude.
Because it just creates like a suction cup, and that's how people drown. That's how they get forced out into the seas. We were looking at the balcony watching the two opposites of where the one wave was coming and the other one was coming in, and it creates that back drag, that rip current, just like maximum force, dude.
It's crazy.
Maximum force.
And obviously we love going to the ocean, but it makes me nervous for like our kids because I'm like, you guys got it. Like we forgot life jackets this last time, so thankfully like it wasn't too bad. But like the waves are still pretty choppy, and they're like, oh, there's chance of rip current, so I'm like constantly like, where's it sucking out at, you know? But we didn't see any, so it was safe. But
you only go as deep as your ankles.
Pretty much, yeah. Right. Well, then like I freaked Archer out because like, you know, I'm shoulder length, so he's like on his boogie board and I'm just kind of like holding him, and he's like, oh, good thing there's no sharks out here, Dad. And I'm like, no, there's sharks. And he's like, well, not like where we're at. And I'm like, no, man, like sharks could be in like knee deep water. And he's like, oh man, dude, we got to go back. And I was like, we're fine. Like we're not. If we get taken out by a shark, man, like how cool is that? Like, Jesus, I got taken out by a shark to come see you, man. Like,
dragged my leg, snatched my leg, and just dragged me underwater for 30 seconds. that would not be a good way to go. That'd be scary. But I mean, that's one of my fears too, is like when I'm in the ocean, it's like, man, there's a lot of things in this ocean that like toes.
Well, yeah,
they like flesh.
To think of like how small you are, like that's one, you know, like people think of like space. I'm like, just look at the ocean. You know, like you're so small compared to pretty much everything else in the ocean. So that's humbling. Yeah, for sure. But
so between you and Haley, your marriage and raising kids, how do you guys support that and one another individually and then like togetherness?
So I mean, like when our kids go to bed, I'm not saying every night because there's plenty of nights like where we just want our own space. You know, like she'll go watch her show and I'll watch my show or do work or whatever. But like we intentionally just try to take time. Like our favorite place in our house is our fire pit outside. Like we have lights built up. We've got like a big swing. And especially if the mosquitoes aren't bad, we'll spend hours out there and just talking about our day, talking about our dreams, what we want, you know, just kind of reconnecting or recentering where we're at.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge is just trying to take time for each other.
Yeah.
You know, when you got 3 kids constantly pulling on you or your job or, you know, parents or just life, you know, like our kids are really starting to get into sports. Archer starts tackle football next week. Okay. So that's 4 practices a night or a week. Yeah. So Monday through Thursday, he's going to have practice. Friday he has off. Saturday he has game. So like that's going to be our next 2 months.
Yep.
So it's going to be a lot, but at the same time, you know, if I know what Haley wants, if she knows what I want, and we can kind of recenter ourselves, I think that's where we keep each other sane.
Yeah.
And then when we don't do that, we can see a huge change. You know, like we'll be short with each other. We'll get into that roommate stage or just expect each other to do certain things. And then like when we don't, we're like, well, what the heck were you doing all day? You know, like, and if I didn't know that, you know, Scarlett hurt her toe and like she spent an hour trying to bandage it up or, you know, just console her or, you know, her mom called, they live right behind us, you know, like her mom called and she needed something or, you know, then I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
And then I'd come home being like, well, why is the house all messy? You know, not knowing that those things happen. Or if, you know, if I had a rough day or whatever, and I come home and I'm short and she's just like, well, what the heck is your problem? You know, she wouldn't know that. So I think just recentering where you're at. We don't spend enough time with the Lord together. You know, like that's one thing I think that we definitely need to work on. But I did feel about 6 months ago at the beginning of the year, the Lord's like, you don't talk to me enough. Your family doesn't talk to me enough. So every night we try to. I'm not saying it always happens because some nights I'm like, y'all need to go to bed. Like, Dad's done.
My day's done.
Yeah.
Your day's done.
Exactly. Yeah. That whiskey I've been wanting, it's going to come right now. We talk to the Lord. So, like, we all just kind of, like, spread out in our living room.
Okay.
We just lay out, and we all just kind of get, like, real still and quiet. And then, like, each one of us just take a turn just talking to Jesus about our day. And I think that has also helped. Just like the kids, they'll randomly talk to Jesus like throughout the day now. It's not just like
that's who Knox is talking to. You know?
It is. Like sometimes I'll be like, "Who are you talking to?" He's like, "Jesus." I'm like, all right, man, just go.
Do your thing.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I interrupted.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But like Archer will randomly start singing praise music. Scarlett loves Forrest Frank, so she's constantly singing Forrest Frank music. Okay. She even like learned like the whole dance thing. Have you seen that? So there's like it went viral and there's like a whole dance to the Your Way's Better song.
Okay.
And like she for an hour and a half was in her room trying to like learn it and now she can do it.
That's cool.
At 5 years old or 6 years old. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I think just making sure that your wife or your spouse, whoever, is the you know, we always used to get on each other's nerves or there would be a problem and then like we'd take it out on each other. Be like, you know, the freaking, I don't know, the car broke down, you know, and be like, oh, we got to fix that now. And if you would have done this or if you would have checked that and like realizing that like they're not the problem. There is a problem and we need to come together to fix that problem instead of like rounding the problem out and making it about them.
Yeah.
That was another one of our first 2 years of marriage was just there was a problem and guess who the problem's fault was.
We're going to put a name in the hat.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, looks like Haley right there. Yeah, that was who the problem was. So.
Zach was last week. It was this week. You know, and just go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So. Well, so you almost married 10 years now, right?
Yeah, it'd be October.
How long in total have you guys been together?
So when I said we got engaged after 4 months, my mom and dad made us be engaged for a year before we got married.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like 4 months
4
is
months.
quick. Yeah. Like, let's make sure this is gonna last.
Yeah.
So it'll be 12 years,
Okay.
I think, total. We started dating in April, and then I proposed to her in July or August.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So in that span of your time being with Haley, being married to Haley, what advice or words of wisdom can you share to help if there's a younger couple married out there or something?
Your wife's always right. Like, that's no. I mean, like, Haley will tell you I'm the first one to forgive. Like,
Yeah.
if we have an argument and like people get just pissed off, and that a lot of the times when you're fighting, you're really nothing's getting solved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if I can have a conversation with you, things are gonna get fixed. If I'm just yelling at you,
Yeah.
you know, if she's yelling at me, I can tell you right now I shut down.
Yeah.
Like, you're just gonna be screaming at a rock because
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. And I think that's been huge for both of us, is just stop yelling. You know, like, if obviously, like, we both get mad and like we raise our voices, but like if I'm yelling at her, she's just gonna yell back, and she's a better yeller. So like, she
Little 5 foot, 110
oh,
pounds.
dude, and yeah, I mean, like, I don't know about anybody else's wife, but my wife scares the crap out of me. So, but no, man, I just if you can be the first to forgive, that's, I think, gonna settle the argument faster.
Yeah.
You know, like, even if they are wrong, a great de-escalator of the conversation is just, I'm sorry. You know, even if you know like how they're acting is not correct, if you just say, hey, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry that you're feeling this way, or I'm sorry that this has happened, or you know, it used to be I'm sorry that I did this, because I just wanted to avoid the argument.
Yeah.
But now I'll just be like, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way, or I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. But this is what my actions were behind that. And usually, like, she'll be like, oh, like, I didn't realize that's what you were trying to do.
I got you.
You know, it was me just being a douche, because I'm pretty good at that too. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, I have my own moments of just being a jerk. So
Yeah. Everybody has those moments.
they do, yeah. And I mean, like, that's marriage. Like, you
Yeah.
know, people always think that you get married and it's going to be rainbows, and, you know, oh, we're never going to fight. Guess what? You are.
Yeah.
And like, and it's healthy. It's healthy to fight. You know, you're two completely different people that are now joined
Right.
in Christ as one body. And if you got one body part going this way and one party, like, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if any young couple listens, it would be that, like, if you put Jesus obviously first, but then, like, you follow up with your wife or your husband and intentionally make them a part of your day instead of just part of the life, then, you know, if you take it day by day, it's going to get so much easier.
That's good, man.
So
That's cool. I love it.
once again, 2-year marriage, Zach would not have said that.
It's taken a few years to grow in that wisdom.
It has, and just growing in maturity, and just knowing, now I know who my wife is.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, chemically imbalanced, trying to figure out life with each other. It wasn't going to work. But now, after 10 years of marriage, I know how Haley's going to react.
Yeah.
And after 10 years of marriage, sometimes I intentionally poke that bear because it's funny. You know?
Depending on what mood you're waking
Yeah.
up
Oh,
in,
yeah. I was going to say, I got to find out what mood she's in.
Today a good day to poke the bear?
Yeah. Probably not going to poke her after she's been with the kids at the zoo. So.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's cool. That's good. Well, this has been super rewarding. I appreciate you taking the time to come hang out and
No, man,
share about life, stories, experiences. Is there anything else you want to share? Or?
No, I loved coming on. I loved doing this. I was excited when you were like, "Oh, does anybody want to do this?
Yeah.
Like, pick me."
Yeah.
That'd be great. So
That's cool.
no, I think this is awesome what you're doing. So
Awesome, man.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Good deal.
Yeah,
That's it.
awesome. Thank you.